Gooey programming, or it's time to start programming now. Gooey programming means meeting the AI halfway. Programming is now an important skill and probably the only real way out of poverty. That this is not clear yet is probably because we are too overworked. Programmers aren't used to asking AI big questions like starting an app with pub, sub, and servers. But AI without big questions often gets tangled up or just creates small results. Big questions, however, are exactly the ones that young people can ask because they have not been taught about the incredible dangers of leaky abstractions and heavy programming. The AI will not be building a large network of services as a result. It will be creating tiny virtual services inside the app to give it structure. A fine example of a big question, terrifying, confusing, numbing to a programmer, but wonderfully clever for a person new to programming, is to simply ask for an FTP interface to some program component. Previously, it would have been fuzzy and weird and confusing. How do you put files in there? But when you ask for an FTP interface, you need a login name and password, and you get a directory. All the questions answered right there and then. Instant structure, instant understanding, instantly complete, an instant connection with AI. It knows FTP. A concept from the big world brought down into a tiny little program creates a contract with your artificial intelligence that will not be violated, that will stand strong and serve as a central file uploading hub, or file storage hub, or icon upload hub. Point is, you now have a nice and powerful place to store files under usernames that can be, but doesn't need to, but can be moved into a network where you can ask your AI to make it compatible with standard FTP or, at that point, SFTP. No problem. This is an impossible feat, perhaps outside of telnet, with which we could peek into databases. But now, well within the ability of a novice programmer. All you need to do is have experienced FTP once or twice before. Now you create a knee joint, a wide mouth bottleneck that grounds the AI and your code. Professional programmers have been taught not to dream big because big things break. Those who are learning programming through using artificial intelligence must dream big. They have to think about bringing their desktop into a web app and then opening up a window full screen so that the users don't know that there is a desktop behind there. The desktop may contain developer tools, maybe some other stuff that they don't need to know about, though it's okay if they figure it out. It's just like pressing F12 on your keyboard right now. This solves confusion. It solves AI generating code that nobody understands. It solves a million problems when you return to the application after a few months and try to remember where things go. They go onto the desktop or up the FTP. No trouble. I chose FTP as an example because everyone hates it and everyone always says don't use it. But when you structure your files using this forbidden protocol. You can now upload the files into your local network. They are compatible with file storage, or you can stick them into a database through some kind of an adapter, or you can upload them to some file bucket somewhere. A strange concept until you realize that large corporations have been doing this already. You can now do it on a much smaller scale, on a microscopic scale inside your app. If it still sounds crazy, imagine having a connection to the FTP server on your virtual desktop behind the application. You're conducting a symphony orchestra. It all fits together. The AI generates beautiful and inspired code. It's a great idea. The old is new again. Bring back FTP, but microscopically inside your programs to create powerful structure. The AI will fix all bugs. It will write all the documentation for you. All you need to do is just remember that there is a tiny little file server in there, and you're good to go. And yes, we can ask for outside servers when that makes sense. I just asked AI for a voice recorder app for these kinds of poems, with the concept of projects, sorting of recordings, and inside my own custom platform. There, I used the concept of virtual file systems to represent all kinds of concerns. And this pairs really well with WebDAV, the web distributed authoring and versioning. I then asked the AI to upgrade the tiny HTTP server program that I have been using to host my app to be more professional-like, more Express or Koa-like, and then properly install the now custom WebDAV that we created. The AI responded responsibly and warmly. Everything was connected well. It understands virtual file system. It understands WebDAV. There was no tangled code here. AI did not get confused or ask for a plan or an explanation. It saw the WebDAV as a column in the program that provided integrity to the whole upgrade. Asking for a voice recorder inside a code editor is quite a tall order. But put WebDAV in there, and all of a sudden all the files have a place to go. These are very strange things to professional programmers. They do not understand these rigid, inflexible, efficient concepts as Gooey tools that can be shaped to structure internal components of an application. They see them differently. They may not be able to see them any other way. See, people new to programming do have a kind of an advantage over seasoned coders, and I can hardly imagine a more wonderful invitation, a new vision of the old. Though I wrote a page and a half about it, we will not, in fact, take a closer look at the life-giving pub/sub and forbidden FTP, the magical telnet, the mystical VFS, enchanted WebDAV, and vital HTTP. But I will say that pub/sub, or the event emitter, or even event sourcing, stands for publishing events and then subscribing to them. Sometimes it is called a message bus, though think of it as walkie-talkies. You broadcast something to everything, and then whoever cares for it takes it and executes the commands in it. Pub/sub, so that you can connect whatever you come up with together, but the rest is what you make of it. not what crusty old programmers demand you do with it. There's a lot of power in reinterpreting the concepts that you and AI can agree on together by making them slightly gooey, slightly customized. It's a language. It's a language of imagination. Don't let anybody take that away from you. Yes, originally all of these concepts were designed to be efficient and do one thing well. But today, in addition to what they actually do, they also serve as a way to communicate concepts to AI. Instead of asking for an FTP server, you say something like an FTP server, and the AI will understand you as building with large blocks. Here, your application architecture will become rigid in places, and the solid components will stand the test of time. You will understand them. It's not going to be confusing AI code, but rigid structure that you placed in key places inside your application. This is a big deal. Please remember, above all, the idea of bending the rules adds rigid, however virtual, structure to your applications. Not only does it work, but it works to deliver powerful, readable, and stable results. Results that you can remember, revisit, and in the future restructure or upgrade. Though they may make the professional programmers who are taught to use them for what they were originally meant for foam around their mouths. That is just how it all works today. Honestly, if a stuck-up jackass isn't foaming around his mouth, then you just aren't dreaming big enough. Welcome to the future of software development, where everything is a gooey dream. Welcome to the wonderland, where you grow and grow to no end.